Well, hello. Howdy. How's everybody? Welcome to the bench. Episode 74. Holy smokes. I've worked on 74 different guitars. Well, some of them are dual episodes, so 73, 72. So I've done a little bit of work on this guitar when I got here this morning, polished the frets. I haven't treated the neck with linseed oil yet, but I got that all cleared up and made another assessment on this thing, but it definitely has had a refret done, and I'll show you how I can see that, which whoever did the work on it did a really great job. My compliments. It's work that if I had done it, I'd be happy to put my name on it. So whoever did do the work on this really did a great job. So we'll get into it right now, right away, and I'll show you, kind of pick up a little bit where we left off yesterday. Hope everybody is doing well. Want to say hello to some folks, get you here, so I'm kind of looking sort of at you. Let's see, Richard the Falcrow, fun stream last night, and thank you for featuring MT Squared on that. That was really fun. Be sure to go back and check that out. Played some really interesting music and turned some dudes on that, and you'll have to watch the show to understand what I'm talking about. Mel turned some dudes on. Yeah. Let's see. Ed, B Metal, David, welcome. Let's see. Looks like that's everybody who's had to say anything. David L, welcome, brother. Sounds like you're driving, so be careful. And Kim, welcome. Hello. All right. Kim was at the stream last night too. That was really fun to see you. Okay, let's just dig right in. So, and let's take a look at the fretwork on this thing. I'm going to turn some better light on here. Hopefully that helps. So the fretwork, you can see that these frets have been replaced. There's some chip out in this one that I can really see, but they did a really fantastic job. And there's definitely... Oh, did I get all your money?
Yeah.
Okay.
You took it
I'm
all.
doing my job right. You can see here, there's a little chip out right here at the tip of my finger. So this thing definitely has had a refret. Right here is an obvious one, and whoever did the work glued those chips back in and did things right. And I've polished these frets and cleaned the fingerboard, and you can kind of see some of the marks from previous sandpaper being used on this, which if I took a razor blade and scratched those out, I could probably remove all of those marks, but I am not going to do this on this neck. It's in such good shape. I don't want to risk, I don't know, not damaging something, but making something worse. Sometimes you're better left alone, and no one's going to notice those little scuffs in the fingerboard. So we're going to dig right in where we left off yesterday. We'll get you right down here in this plain old blank nut. And something I did yesterday, where is my tool? Here it is. I measured the string spacing on the original nut, and I've fit this thing to where you can't feel it. The corners are a little sharp. I'll finish that off once I get the nut slots, but we're gonna go ahead and slot this thing, and I marked this where I know that this string spacing is going to be exactly what it was on the original nut that was on this thing, and the corner of that nut broke out. So I'm going to get my handy dandy trusty half mil. It's a half mil. What is this? A mechanical pencil. This is a Zebra brand M301. I'm not sponsored by these guys, but it's a half mil. And today in the mail I received new lead. This was the last piece that I had in this one, and today I got new stuff, so that's planning ahead. That's important. So we can't be out of lead. So I'm going to go ahead and space this off. Now this is where it's kind of a up to the tech to decide where these slots should go. And we want enough space between the edge of the fingerboard and the string so that you're not pushing the strings off of the fingerboard. Typically the treble E is slightly closer to this side of the fingerboard, than the base E is to this side of the fingerboard. So we've got a little tiny distance, and you probably can't even see me moving this, but this is where I'm going to go. And I'm going to mark these, so I'll be silent for a moment while I'm totally focused here. You don't have a lot of room for error on this at all. Okay. Takes a very steady hand. Remember that game? There's our string spacing. How did I do? Am I dead on? I think I'm dead on. Dead on. So now I've got to get the tool out here. Where are you? Where is my Japanese saw? There you are. Now what I do is I take my thumb, and I keep a little bit of a fingernail on my thumb so that I can mark stuff very accurately. I've got this glued in place so it's not going to move around. And we're just going to score this on my marks very, very lightly. And I want to nail those things. Looks like I slightly missed that one, so we're off to a good start. There we go. And we're just going to make a little teeny score in this. I have to pull. Just a tiny little score in this. Alright, takes a very delicate touch on this stuff. Right. Just barely scoring it, just barely. I'm going to use a set of 10 gauge Ernie Ball slinkies. Boom. I said boom. Alright, so we've got our knot slots started here. And now it's time to break out the ever famous and most valuable tool. If you're going to work on a nut, you should own a set of these. They're not terribly expensive. These have obviously been well used, and I keep them in this package to keep them from getting dulled up. So we're going to just start by making a slot here, and we want to go be very careful about being straight with this nut slot. Now this is the work, the famous "my G string won't stay in tune" on Les Pauls and SGs and stuff like that. This is where it happens from not being done correctly. Now I'm just going to score these real quick, and so I've got the 46. Now I'm going to go to the 17, which is the G string. We love the G string, right? And that little notch that I put in this nut will help me get started in the exact right spot. Now what I'm doing here is I'm tilting my file to point it at that machine head, and you'll notice the string around here, that's to keep these ferrules from popping out. If you have a guitar that has these ferrules in it and you tip it upside down, these will fall out, especially if your name is Marshall. So we're just going to get these. You want to be really careful not to hit the headstock with that and leave a dadgum mark in there. I want to make sure. I was using the wrong side of that file. That's all right. I'm just getting started here. Good grief. All right. And we're going to go through this whole process. If you get bored, there's plenty of other entertainment on YouTube, but you can watch me do this. And if you have an instrument of your own that you need to do this kind of work on, hopefully you'll learn something and maybe do it the way I do it. I don't have many complaints, or any complaints. And now we'll flip it over to the 13, which is the B string on a set of 10 gauge strings. Again, I'm making a very subtle little angle on this to help that string have zero hang up in this nut slot. Again, the big complaint on Les Pauls is my G string won't stay in tune. That's why. And 100% that's why. I own a couple of them, so believe me, I know. And I've done my own nut work on a couple of them. And the string distance from each string is graduated ever so slightly, and typically between the G and the D string there's a slightly wider gap. I don't know physics why guitar manufacturers have done that, but it's ever so slight. So that's a 26, and I've cut it at a bit of an angle here to get it to point right at that machine head. And again, going at a downward angle on the back side of this, we want that string to make a little bit of contact here with the nut and not necessarily be resting in that for its entire length while it passes through that nut slot. Alright, this is a bone nut, my favorite material, right next to deer antler. Yes, Jerry Rosa is right. Deer antler is one of the greatest materials for nuts. And I'm going to go ahead and get a little deeper on these because I've got some room to spare. The nut is way too tall at this point. And we'll just go back over it a couple times here. And forgive me, I'm not paying any attention to the chat, so I hope you guys are having a good conversation over there. Lots of interesting stuff to talk about. Let's see. 6. This is a 36 thousandths file that I'm using on the A string. Look at a set of Ernie Ball Slinky 10s. And a 13. And a 46 and a 17. 17's pretty much there. We'll flip it over to the 46 thousandths. We'll take a little more out of this. We don't want to go too far. This is where going too far could cost you. You go too far on this, and you are starting over from scratch. Here we go. All right. We have the nut slots cut. Got the fingerboard cleaned up. And now it's time to take my safety device, which is an E string. From the old set of strings that I pulled off of here, and I just ran it through the machine heads to keep these things from falling apart, or the ferrules from falling out. You lose one of those and they are, boy, especially on a guitar this old, the potential of finding one that will fit is pretty minimal. Alright, so I'm going to pull this out of here, and we're going to throw a set of strings on here and start setting this guitar up. It's getting awful close at this point. You want to be very careful with the painted headstock to not get any kind of chemical residue on that. So be careful with your rags. If you've been cleaning the guitar, You don't want to use, and there's a lot of dots and stuff. I don't know if you guys can see, oops, very well. There's a lot of, almost looks like this thing got hit with, I don't know, something. I'm going to try and polish this up. And again, I'm being very careful over the painted logo on this instrument. You do not want to get denatured alcohol or lighter fluid on this. It will take that paint right off of there. So what I'm going to do, grab a clean rag here and grab some good old-fashioned 65 polish. I love this stuff. It doesn't have a distinct smell about it. I have special polish for guitars owned by ladies. It smells really nice. It's called Love Potion number 9. I'm gonna see if I can buff these. It's got like some type of like marks in the finish here. See if I can shine this up. And again, I'm going to be very careful not to remove any of the paint, the original paint off of this thing. And sometimes you just got to get the elbow grease out and really go at it. And I may want to bust out a little bit heavier polishing compound on this. Yeah, this thing got some kind of stuff on this here. I'm seeing these little speckles in the paint. And there is a point where I'm going to have to say, you know, I did my best. Alright, I'm hoping I didn't cut that G string too shallow. Hoping. Stewie, is there anything you need from me?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just making sure we're rolling like a wheel.
Rolling like a wheel. Like a stone? Okay. So I am able to buff some of that out of there. I'm gonna try using some semi-chrome polish on this. And in fact, I'm going to go get this rag wet before I put the semi-chrome on there. Give me a second. I've gotten this rag just kind of damp here, and I'm going to put a tiny drop of the semi-chrome on here. And I don't know how well you guys can see the flaws in this finish. Maybe with this angle you can see those spots that I'm seeing. They're all over the truss rod cover. We're going to start there with this semi-chrome because I'm not anywhere near any paint or finish, and just see if this will remove those spots. If not, I'm probably going to stop and count my lucky stars that I didn't damage anything. Might have too much water on here, but if I don't try, I won't know if I can get this stuff off of here. And it does not look like this with the water. No, that's not doing anything. Okay, so I'm gonna say, let me grab a new rag. We're gonna try and get rid of that. Hey Rhodey, what's happening? My knees hurt. Yeah, it's town too small. Yeah, Kim, I hear you. I'm just lucky to have landed where I did and have such a supportive and wonderful music community. I'm going to go to the open mic tonight and probably play get to play guitar, hopefully with one of my students. I need to send him a note and find out where he's going to tune his guitar. He likes to do like C standard tuning in a lot of cases. It looks like it's trying to get rid of some of that, so I'm going to try some of the semi-chrome on a just a dry towel here, and it just takes a tiny little bit, and we'll see. This is way too much, and you'll notice these screws will start to shine as I run this polish over this. It just does not look like whatever is on here is wanting to come off. It's almost as if it whatever got on here kind of ate into it. I don't know if this was what it looked like from the factory, or could not tell you. But if nothing else, the truss rod cover will be nice and shiny. I'm going to remove the excess material. Yeah, I'm going to call well enough alone. I'm going to leave well enough alone. And I thought I might be able to make that look a little nicer, but apparently not. I don't want to, again, rough up a 62-year-old guitar. This thing is 62 years old. Okay. Roadie, I'm looking forward to hearing you guys jam again, getting to watch you guys. It's so much fun. It'd be cool to be able to put a live stream of the open mic that they have here in La Grande, because they actually have a full band come in. And Kim, I was commenting on your post about, or your comment about not, living in a small town, and believe me, I feel you there. Our population where I live in the direct local area is about 14,000 people, so we may not be that small of a town compared to you, I don't know. All right, so there's that. Now, let's go ahead and we'll get the tailpiece here. It's here someplace. I set it down here. Oh, there it is. And this is an older style, so it's got the 2 and then the 4 strings. And the reason for this is that back in 1961, electric guitars generally had a wound G string. They did not have 10 gauge strings back in the day. They had basically acoustic guitar strings. In 1961, they may have developed some lighter gauge strings, but they were still building these saddles, probably millions of them, in a factory someplace in who knows where, but it wasn't in China. Ooh, and I got to be careful about leaving that sort of stuff on my rigs. That will scratch the finish of a guitar. So we'll get rid of that. I love these little tie things. Why do they put them in a pair of socks? I will never know. Alright, okay. And before I put this on there, I'm going to go ahead and put a little drop of semi-chrome on here and polish up this tailpiece, bridge, saddle, all in one. And you can see how well this stuff works. It is fantastic polish. If you want to polish your instrument, man. I haven't tested it on everything yet. Of course, I probably never will, but you can see how much guck is coming off of there. I'm using this semi-chrome. It costs about, for that little tube, was right in the neighborhood of 15 bucks. My clients deserve it. But now we'll have a nice shiny bridge and saddle. It does have adjustments here for intonation. That's great. So I don't know if this, given I'm seeing those, this is possibly an aftermarket bridge, because these get lost. somebody pulls the strings off the guitar and this thing grows legs and walks away. If you're enjoying what you're watching, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. It's not a requirement, but definitely. I usually like to watch a stream for, a few minutes before I decide that I like it, because sometimes something will come up that I'm like, I don't really like that. Okay, I'm good. No, you don't have to like everything, but it is nice. All right, so now I've got a fingerprint on it, but now this thing is nice and shiny, and it'll stay put. The adjustment screws are set to a certain distance here. I'm going to leave those. I'm just going to start there, and we'll grab a set of Ernie Ball Slinky, regular Slinkies, 10 to 46, and we'll check my preemptive strike on the nut. Hey, Pooh, what's happening, brother? Hugh Caldwell. Okay, I ran to the store this morning, got my prescription, and let's see, got some half and half. It was a fun trip. And some Diet Pepsi. No beer. No beer for the wicked. I sure do love being sober. And again, you want to be very careful putting these strings on, not to scratch the top of this guitar. So we've got to be very careful about that, pushing those strings through. And also you want to pay attention to make sure this isn't the windings aren't sticking up and poking you in your hand. And all right, so I'm going to do that, and we'll get up here and basically go through the same rigmarole we went through yesterday with the other melody maker, which I still have a little bit of work to do on, but I'm going to have to pull the strings off of that, and I wanted to save you all the agony of having to watch me do that. Get my string winder, being very careful. Being very careful not to scratch the headstock. How we doing, Brother Stu?
I'm doing good.
One of the greatest luthiers on planet Earth is literally standing right there. I think I've done a pretty good job here. I'm looking high, so that's good. Had a little joke going about getting high in Ohio last night. That was kind of fun. All right, let's see if we can make another land speed record on stringing up a guitar. Isn't this fun? Again, I'm being very careful not to scratch the finish on this instrument when I'm pushing the strings through the saddle. Bridge / saddle, it's 2-in-1. It's a cheap way to build a bridge versus a tune-o-matic. Alright. Now in doing this, I'm going to have to pull these strings in and out of this guitar quite a few times. And here's my bent machine head. And I can tell that I'm way too high right here already, so I've done my job correctly in my preemptive strike on getting that cut a little bit before I got down to the nitty-gritty of getting that first fret action dialed in. So experience, if you don't have it, you need it, right? This G string, I'm a little, oh yeah, we're fine. 3 wraps, 1, 2, 3 on your unwound strings over the top of your windings. Now when you break a string at a gig, You can get this string off of here very, very easily. I'm gonna grab my favorite pair of pliers, pull that through nice and snug. And this machine head is also bent ever so slightly. If they're not bent, you're not playing your guitar enough. That's my statement to that. They're all bent. Because the first thing that happens when the guitar tips over is this thing hits something. Your dog hits the floor, the kitchen table, whatever. The bass player, and they bend. These are bent all on almost every guitar, so don't worry about it. It's a kind of a fact of life. If they're not bent, again, you're not playing your guitar enough, or you haven't knocked it over enough, or it's parked in the garage or something like that, like a motorboat. My boat's in perfect working order. It doesn't even have a scratch on it. Good for you. You've never caught a fish off of it either. Whoop. Sorry, we got a dizzy camera action. My camera guy's getting crazy. Alright, and the treble E string. I'm not making any land speed records, I can tell with this, but I can tell right now, looking at the string spacing, that it is freaking perfect. And my gap here is really good. 1, 2, 3, and we'll go. Whoop. I love it when that happens. That's the only bummer about doing it like this. You know, what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna leave it loosey-goosey. Yeah, I said goosey. Come on. The treble E string is always a pain in the ass. Okay. Pull this back through. Alright. Make sure those are getting wound on there correctly. Keep everything nice and tidy here. Again, a good reason to have a good fingernail. You can push up on that string, get it wound nice and tight so your tuning stability is maintained after you've done such a tidy ass job putting strings on it. You see how tidy that looks? Nice and wound in a nice even wraps. Let's see how close I am. Am I close? Oh man. Alright, now we're gonna set our fret action. I'm gonna come in from the bottom half here. So that's a 17. I'm gonna start with the G string. I love the G string. Pull that up out of there. And we're gonna start working on this. We're gonna keep that angle going over towards the machine head so it keeps this tuning stability in check. And again, at a downward angle. Now I'm taking some height off the front edge of the nut. Got a little bit more to go. What I want to do with this 16, this is a 16,000th. Oops, let me get you pointed in at the action here. Sorry, my camera guy's drinking again. I want to hear this be a G sharp note. It's touching, the feeler gauge is doing its job, but I want it to fret that note. That's my technique for doing this. So, and at this point, we are making very, very small moves. You can hear the pitch change, so I've dropped that string. I'm going to give it one more swipe. Just one more. And that's it. Little stuff like that. Alright, so I'm going to go for the 13. I've got a long ways to go on this one. I didn't cut it quite as deep. You want to check this multiple times so you don't go too deep. You got to sneak up on it. I can tell I got a long ways to go still, and I can see that the string is not contacting the back half of this the nut, so that's telling me I'm getting this down angle good, so that the string is making very little contact here in the nut slot. And I know, so we're just starting to make contact there. So we want to sneak up on it. Got a little bit more to go. So sneak up on it. Don't get in a hurry. Got one more swipe, and I'm thinking I might be there. I'm gonna give it I'll say one more swipe 18,000 times while I'm doing this. Well, 18,000.4 times. And we can get a lot closer with the smaller wound string or unwound strings, because our forgiveness here at this first fret is pretty liberal. Alright, there we go. Get this. I'm gonna pull this string over this direction. I don't want to let that string drop down over this headstock and scratch the paint. You gotta think about stuff like that. Again, be very careful not to put a scratch in the headstock. That would suck. Going at a downward angle, I'm cutting the back half of this saddle. Again, I'm using a 10 thousandths, which this is actually measures about 11 thousandths, which having your nut slot be one or 2 thousandths wider than the actual string being used is not a bad idea. It kind of helps ensure that you're not going to have that string getting pinched. Getting close. We're getting close. And kind of do some comparative how much I got to push down on these strings to make contact with the fret. And kind of use your eye. Got some room. Sneaking up on it. Now these slots are getting so deep now that it makes the file so now we're moving on to the D, the dumb string, the dog string. We're playing in the key of dumb. Really looking forward to going to the open jam tonight. I have a student at 6:30, so as soon as I get done, I get to run home, give a guitar lesson, and then I get to go jam, so I'll be nice and warmed up. And the guy I'm teaching tonight is really coming a long ways. His playing technique and such has really developed a lot. He's a younger guy and really working hard on technique stuff with him. His knowledge of scales and scale patterns is pretty deep. And I'm kind of going at an angle to get that strings to go in a straight line to that and not get hung up in this saddle. So we widen this saddle out a little bit. On the D and the G string in particular. Now on the wound strings, I want 16 thousandths, so I want that to just to feel it, the feeler gauge to just feel that string. We don't want it to necessarily fret a note, although I could probably get away with that on this guitar, given this was built back in a time when quality control was, even on a cheap guitar, was pretty stringent. We're making contact. I'm going to give it one more swipe. We're going to go to the A string, and I'm spitting on the guitar, which is good. Blood, sweat, and tears, and saliva. Ain't nothing better for a guitar than good old-fashioned spit. A good guitar player helps too, but that's a subjective idea. Almost there. Isn't this fun? And you know what's cool about this is that when I'm done, I have to play this thing. That really sucks. It's life just sucks sometimes. You hear it making contact. Alright, 46. We'll grind this down a little bit. You can hear the pitch of that string change each time I take a little more material off of the nut, and that actually helps me do a good job also. Again, I'm taking it at a downhill motion on the back part of that saddle, or nut, sorry. Alright, let's adjust our string action here until our string action is a little bit low, it looks like. Well, it's actually looking pretty darn close. Before we do that, we're going to check the truss rod on this thing and see what the neck relief is doing. Now we're basically doing the setup on this guitar. Let's see. Got my 12 thousandths gauge. I'm done with the 16, so we'll put that away. Oh, and here's another trick. I made a mark on my fret, my nut layout tool. To get rid of that, we just throw it on the floor. Okay. So we want to be really careful about doing this because we don't want to get any of this, but a little bit of denatured alcohol. If you got like Sharpie ink on something that you don't want it on, oh come on. The lid on this thing's childproof, by the way. Just a little touch of denatured alcohol on a rag and you can remove your marks. And I'm going to clean this thing a little bit and being careful not to do that right over the top of the guitar. Alright, so now my rule is ready to be used on the next one that I have to do that on. Get that rag out of the way, get my pen out of the way. Let's check our neck relief. And I am wearing the same shirt I wore yesterday, by the way. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Hoping you can see what I'm doing here. So we have a bit too much neck relief. So what does that mean? It means I get to pull the truss rod cover off of here and adjust the truss rod. And the fact that I had two melody makers here means my truss rod wrench is already out and ready to be used. A magnetic screwdriver tip really helps in this instance. Oh, and check this out. I know you guys have seen these before, but if you've got a screwdriver, having one of these little guys, this is a really great tool to have. I got this at either the Hobby Habit or at our local hardware store. We do have hardware stores. Yeah. Okay, so we want to tighten this truss rod, and it does look like it's been turned before. I'm going to go ahead and just, we'll set that aside. I'm going to give it a little nudge here and see how she responds. Alright, let's check our neck relief now, see what's happening. I could probably get away with lower. Oh boy. Nailed it. Nailed it. Just that one adjustment. Alright, but I'm going to leave the truss rod cover off of that because I'm probably going to have to readjust that now that it's had strings off of it for quite some time, so I want to let it climatize, get used to the string tension. So now we have the low E and the high E that we can adjust. The wonderful thing about Gibsons. And we're at 4 1/2 64ths on the bass E string, and we are at 4/64 on the treble E string. What do you think? Should I leave it? I mean, if I don't have to turn a screw, I don't think I need to turn a screw. I could probably get away with lower action, but that's where the mojo comes in. Let me see if I can say hello to everybody. Gary, hey, brother. Preston, welcome. Rody, again, it's great to see you, man. All right, Charlie. Yeah, you can totally do that. Frank, welcome, brother. Hello. Yeah. Apple makes things so awesome for everybody. I love what the UK did to them. That's just perfect. Thank you very much for having a smart government. All right. And things are looking really well aligned. If we look down the guitar neck here, you can see my string spacing all the way up the fingerboard. These strings are doing a pretty good job of staying straight. This is a subtle angle on the low E string, but we want more distance there, and the neck gets wider at this point. Let's play it and see what she does. We're gonna get to hear this thing. Oh, I'll wait to do the pickup adjustment, pickup height on this thing. Again, this thing is 62 years old, man. This is a 61 Gibson melody maker, and I get the honor of getting to play this thing. Let's tune her up and see where she's at. And I am going to leave the snark tuner on this because, oh, I got to stretch strings real quick. Let's do that. Be patient with me. I'll get them stretched. Boy, this guitar weighs like 4 pounds. I am not kidding. It's super light. Conspiracy, welcome, man. I hope that I've been able to say hi to everybody. Thank you for being here. Preston, I'm not using your string stretching technique, but I appreciate you sharing that with me. This just doesn't give them, that doesn't stretch them enough for me. And I'm not worried about breaking a string. Yeah, this is a double cut. The other one that I had is a single cut melody maker, so kind of cool. Shit, my guitar like 12 pounds. Yeah, dude. Look at how thin this thing is. And this is a piece of mahogany. We all know that mahogany is just super light wood, and it's a mahogany neck that's never been broken, believe it or not. So this thing is just ultra light. It's very similar to an SG, but the body's even smaller. I didn't do this before I sat down to play it. See how this thing sounds and feels. I haven't set the pickup height either, so that could be wrong. But this guitar came in such good shape. I'm pretty sure that the original owner took very, very good care of it. My knees hurt, yeah. Yeah, SG, I highly recommend one of those, man. If you've played a Les Paul, you know, with the double humbucker, man, an SG is a good move. They're very light, and the neck drop is a really wonderful thing because it forces the neck to fall into your hand. As much bad press as it's gotten, I disagree with that 100%. The guitar wants you to hold on to it. And God, I was blessed with a good strong back, and it sucks to be 50 and still be able to pick heavy shit up. But the fact that I can, I'm grateful for that. But when anything heavy comes in, guess who they call? That's why I make the big bucks. First chord. Oh yeah. This flimsy little Fender pick. That's a .46 mil. I'm sorry. That's like playing with a piece of paper. I like .73s. They're my favorites. What's your favorite guitar pick? Tim, welcome. And Frank again, hello. I love watching somebody tune a guitar. Isn't that fun? Give it a little more give her a little more horsepower. My massive 5-watt amplifier. Single coil pickups, not a fan. So I'm having a little bit of fretting out action going on with the 3-fret bend up here. And I don't know, less than an hour, well, about an hour ago, this thing didn't have a nut on it. Well, it did have a nut, but it didn't have any nut slot. So you get sort of fast at stuff if you've been doing it a while. So I've got some fretting out stuff going on. And again, the guitar will kind of settle, having had strings off of for a couple days. So we're going to check the string action again, see what's showing up here, and see what my measuring device tells me. I'm going to take my glasses off. I now have my reading glasses on. Okay. The fact that I can't get a 3-fret bend out of this is not necessarily the end of the world on this guitar. However, I'm going to bring the action up to the point that I can get a 3-fret bend and see what our string action is telling us. I'm going to double check the neck relief now. And this is one time we're having a face-mounted output jack. It's kind of cool because now I can like turn the guitar up, but I am not a fan of those. I would drill a hole and through here and put it over here or something if it was my guitar. Yeah, neck relief is holding very nicely. Actually might have a bit too much, but we're going to go ahead and live with that for the time being. So now, because of these set screws, what I'm forced to do is relieve the string tension so that I can raise this up, and I want to bring it up I'm going to bring it up 1/64, so I need to move this 2/64 of an inch, which would be 1/32, right? My math skills are still serving me right. So I'm taking a measurement off the top. I need to be 1/32, so I need to be up at 7/32 to the top. 7/32 to the top. Okay, here we go. And if this doesn't give me a 3-fret bend, I'm going to put it back and we'll settle for a 2-fret bend on this. Again, the fretwork, this has had fretwork done to it. It was refretted, so I may actually talk with the guitar owner to see if maybe he wants to consider doing a fret level, because there could be a tall fret down in here or something. So 7/32, and somebody has put a screwdriver in here and fucked up these screws. That's stupid. There's no excuse for that. You got a t-shirt or a rag or something. 7/32, so to the top. So measure this again. I'm gonna leave my rag right there. I thought I would. Let's go. Okay, I went too far. We're gonna go back. This thing moves pretty dramatically fast. Even with no string tension, use a rag. Why scratch those up? These are all rough and uncomfortable. I mean, I can feel that roughness with my finger. Okay. Okay, we're looking good. We're gonna tune this bad boy back up. Okay, my camera guy's drinking on the job again. Anybody else see anybody doing live guitar repair videos? Actually working on guitars? I don't know if anybody else is doing this. Not that it's terribly entertaining. It seems to be, I suppose. Okay. We'll see if we can get a 3-fret bend. If I can't get a 3-fret bend, I'm gonna...
Good. What's up, man? Oh, the old 61? I'm gonna ask Mr. I'm gonna ask the guy right now. The old Gibson, 61 Gibson. How's it coming?
Well, let me see. It needs to be tuned up right now.
You want to talk to Marshall?
I'll be in touch with him in about half an hour to 45 minutes.
He said he'll get a hold of you in about a half hour, 45 minutes probably.
Cool.
All right, thanks, buddy. Talk to you later.
Okay, so I posed a question. Is anybody seeing any other YouTube channels doing live guitar repair? Rosa? Oh yeah, Rosa does do once in a while. He'll work on something. Most of his are videos. Yeah, Dave's World of Fun stuff. I love Dave. Yeah, he's way smarter than me, man. He's got a.
I think I told you yes. What did I tell you yesterday?
Let's see. Who? Hey, Tremor, welcome, man. Forgive me for not saying hello sooner.
Oh yeah, I think it was 75 for the faceplate.
Dave doesn't ever do live stuff that I've seen. No live repairs, unless he's changed his programming.
I don't know if I don't think I have one out there.
He might once in a while, I suppose, but his videos are always really funny, but he does the same exact thing every single time. I do watch, once in a while I'll see him working on an instrument, and he's the second person to have a video of repair work on a Padula bass. I'm the first.
Right, you're supposed to use the digital
yeah.
interface with the truck, but you can.
It's great to see everybody. Hey, Justin, hey brother. Hope you're having a great day. Man, I hope everybody's having a great day. Mine's going really smoothly today. I'm just taking a moment to kind of catch my breath and let the guitar kind of settle a little bit.
Let me go out. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're just going to forget about it.
Yeah, he cooks and tells jokes and intonation for the nation. I love that saying. That's awesome. Oh, my new glasses. I love these things.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah, Trimmer, that's great to see you. Thanks for stopping in, Rhodey again. And I'm hey Ian, what's happening? Hello. Yeah. Jedi. Hello, greetings from Florida. Welcome. Welcome to Oregon, man. We're having like Florida kind of sunlight here, but it's 45 degrees. It's been beautiful the last few days. My plants are loving it. My house plants. Hopefully you're having good weather in Florida. It's great to see you. Huh. Well, Tremor. Oh, I get you. Yeah. If you're working, I get it, man. I watch a lot of live streams and don't, and am unable to chat just because I'm working, usually. Yeah, this YouTube, being able to live stream my work on YouTube has been very beneficial for my business. Oh, thank you, Jedi. You bought the paper you need. Nice. Yeah, I'm. If you guys aren't aware of what happened, I think most of you here are aware of what happened to me here a few months ago, and I again wanted to extend my deepest gratitude for your generosity towards me, and I want you all to know that I pay it forward. Yeah. Your generosity has allowed me to help others, and so again, I'm very grateful. Very grateful. Rhodey, I asked you earlier, I hope you're still here. When should we expect to be able to see you guys playing live again? I think there's about, at least according to from OBS to YouTube, it was about 18 seconds of latency. So I don't know how soon you'll be able to answer that, but I'm really curious when you guys might be playing again. And I had, last night online, we had a really fun time. I didn't get to attend Preston's live stream, but he does a live stream every Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then the Falcro, my brother from the same state, we probably met each other back in the 90s and didn't even know it. But he does a live stream at about 8 o'clock Pacific Daylight Time, which is 11 o'clock Eastern Time. So I'm hoping to hear back from Rody on when he might be doing a live jam again with his band. Yeah, and I think, let me see, I think, yeah, I can. Yeah, in the description of my video, Kim, and thanks for asking that, I did put a link to my PayPal account, but you know, there are many others that need more help than I do. I'm fine. I will never turn down money, but however, most likely true. Yeah. So I've had a couple of good fun nights on the internet. And I did my own live stream last night. It was really fun. My streams are generally educational with regard to music theory and things like that, which I think people really appreciate it. I think people learn something from that. Always a teacher. If I had to do it over again, I'd have been a school teacher. Yeah. Oh, Jedi. Are there any other? I know Hugh was here earlier, and I know that he makes a living or is paid to work on guitars. Is anybody else in the stream working, or a luthier or a guitar repair tech, touring repair tech? Anybody like that involved here? And Kim, you've been a big help, and thank you so much. Music school teacher. Tremor, you're a music teacher. Is that true? That's cool, man. I don't think I would have done that. I would have just done normal, like normal, as if music teaching is abnormal. Good grief. Oh, nice. Okay. So you have a music channel. You're paid to dance, Charlie. I still want that Larrabee, bro. Oh, okay. You're one of the. You got lawyers and doctors, guitars. My knees hurt. Yeah, excellent. If you aren't breaking strings, you're not playing enough. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Tremor, that's great. Good for you. Thank you for that. Yep. Okay. Teaching at community college. Okay. Oh, that's cool. So there's a lot of educators in here. I hope that my method for teaching is agreeable. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I can, I don't think I can play the video for that, so, and thanks for putting that up there, Falcro. If you would like to check out Jedi Jingle Maker's channel, by all means. I'm going to go there right now. Let me see if I can do this. Open link in new tab. I can. And these sorts. You might be able to hear that. I don't know. Oh, it's just coming through my microphone here. I don't I don't have this stream set up to be able to share people's videos, but you now have 111 subscribers, brother. Yeah, dude, that sounded awesome. When I have a chance, I'll go. I'll definitely check your channel out more. I've got it set to all notifications, which I do to virtually anyone I'm subscribed to. So I do often see your notifications when you're live and things like that. YouTube kind of picks and chooses when it decides to give you a notification, but yeah, very cool tune. So you click on that link that Falco just shared, and you can open it up in a new tab or just go over there and check it out. These are nice. Oh, the notes. Yeah, Charlie, you're he's a break string's coming. I'm broken. Yeah, I haven't broke a string for quite a while, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've learned to be fairly gentle, I think, on them. Playing live is when I break strings. If I'm playing a gig, I get amped up sometimes and get aggressive. And the D and G strings are my favorite strings to break. So. Yeah, Charlie, you're one of those guys that does a lot of, I don't know, I guess for the slang word for him is a lot of cowboy chords, open chords, and your vocals. Yeah, again, I think I was visiting with someone last night, and I've got to wait a few minutes to get any more done on this guitar. I want to let it sit and settle in. You very much. Oh, who else? There are a couple. Oh, Michael Lepenzi, and Mike's. He's got an interesting. He does live streams quite often. It's fun to sit down and listen to him play, and he's sipping on a beer and smoking cigarettes and all that. Yeah. And I just enjoy listening to that stuff because a lot of the songs that are covered by you guys just takes me right back to my childhood, being 3, 4, 5 years old, watching my Uncle Steve play. And I hope that one of these days you guys might get to meet that man on a live stream of mine. He's a hippie from hell, man. Not from hell, he's from a better way. Not that hell is a bad place. I think Lemmy's there, and that made it a really great place. Yeah, I love listening to you guys play, and it's fun to that Falco is sharing your music each week. So I don't even have to watch your videos. I just wait for Falco to go live, and I watch it on there. Although I do go to your channel, typically I'll hit the like button and watch it, so you get those view counts. Yeah, I know, Preston. It does ring a lot. We're very busy. Spend a lot of time on the phones here. When you're the only show in town, man, you gotta stay busy. Yeah. I hope someday I can own a jam space like that. But it's nice to be able to go to, again, the headquarters here in La Grande has an open jam and drum kit and all that. So we get to crank it up a little bit. I'm probably going to take my amp with me tonight. I'm taking my PV6505 mini head because we do a lot of high gain. At least the kids play a lot of high gain stuff. Not that I'm not a kid at heart. Yeah, a guitar that's set up right and maintained right, you're gonna have a lot of good luck with that. All right, so this guitar has been sitting here thinking about me. Sorry, Cheryl, that was Cheryl Crow. I'm sorry, Cheryl. Please don't sue me. Okay. Yeah, we're looking really good on the string action on this thing, so I'm going to go ahead and check intonation on this real quick. I think that the... let me get my guitar cable on. Oh, wait. Here's a joke. I have a joke. What's the best thing to jump out of an airplane with? What is the best thing to jump out of an airplane with? Get you here in the... Andy, welcome. I think so. Good try, Justin. Nope. Nah, there's way better stuff to jump out of an airplane with. You're looking at one of them. And it's not me. I'm going to roll the tone off and see if I can get a better reading. Boy, this thing does not like this. So we're a little sharp. A little sharp on the bass E. Boy, this thing does not, single coil pickups, this thing does not like them. This pickup is a really low output pickup also, it's not very loud. Boy, this thing's playing hard to get. Yeah, I notice this tuner jumping around like it is. These pickups are just too wimpy. So I think we're a little sharp on the bass E string. The treble E. Okay, so kind of having to use my ear because my Peterson is not hearing that. Hey Kim, thanks for being here. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a Peterson strobe tuner, man. It's the best thing you can use for intonate. Oh well, the best thing to jump out of an airplane with is this, because it'll get hung up on something. So, should yeah, one of the noisiest pickups. So, we got kind of the main point of this live stream out of the way, which was to get the nut work done. The rest of the stuff that I've got to do on this thing, and I have to shift my position to get the noise to, yeah, there's terrible pickups in this thing, and it's original though. It's a 61, so I don't know.
I'm good, man.
Yeah, not a whole lot I can do about that. I will open. I got to decide whether I want to open the electronics up in this and make sure it doesn't have a ground issue going on. In fact, yeah, no, the ground is good in this. Yeah, it's just a really, really noisy single coil pickup. So, I'm going to go ahead and end my stream today. Yeah, hey, my knees hurt. Have a great day. Thank you for being with us. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Thank you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you care and you feel like you learned something, you feel like it's worth it, you go ahead and send me some money on PayPal, and I will gladly pay it forward. Yeah, no overdrive on this one. You're very welcome. I think Richard's going to go live today fixing his guitar, so hopefully if he does, pay attention for that, you guys. And I think tomorrow Metalhead Hippie's got his world, across the world original broadcast, so check that out. Hey, and thanks y'all for being here. Remember, you're loved.